fact that
I like turtles.
200, 300.
All right, man. Before I do this, right? Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, this show, right, is about very terrible people who did very terrible things, and it might be very disturbing for certain people to watch, man. All right, so watch at your own risk, essentially.
The definition of justifiable homicide is a killing without evil or criminal intent. It's a type of defense used in criminal law, where the homicide of another is excused by reason of the offending party being under imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury. A homicide in this instance is considered blameless, yet the ability to prove or refute this defense will often boil down to some of the most precise technicalities that would most often be considered insignificant under different circumstances.
Jesus.
At around 3:30 p.m. on July 19, 2018, 29-year-old Brittany Jacobs drove to the Circle A food store located in Clearwater, Florida. In the passenger seat was her 28-year-old boyfriend, Marquise McLaughlin, while in the back seat were their 3 children who were all under the age of 6 at the time. When they got to the store...
Yeah, chat, disclaimer. Okay, viewer discretion advised.
Yeah,
these videos are kind of dark sometimes. Just be careful. If you don't like what you see, you just you know, just go next, or you know.
Brittany parked the vehicle in the store's only handicapped parking space located on the side of the building. Marquise then got out and went into the store with their 5-year-old son to buy drinks and snacks. Roughly 90 seconds later, while Brittany was still inside the vehicle, 47-year-old Michael Drejka pulled up in his Toyota and illegally parked alongside her. He got out of his truck and started circling the young mother's car, looking for a disabled parking placard. An altercation ensued after 20 seconds, with witnesses inside the store reporting they heard a loud and aggressive argument between a male and a female. Marquise exited the store 75 seconds after the start of the confrontation, approached Drejka, and forcibly pushed him to the ground. Exactly 2.5 seconds after that, while still on the ground, Drejka pulled out a .40 caliber Glock pistol and fired a single round at Marquise, who then ran back into the store and collapsed in front of his son. Paramedics arrived within 19 minutes and rushed him to the Morton Plant Hospital. He was pronounced dead at 4:04 p.m.
19 minutes?
CCTV footage captured the entire incident.
Yo, I'm goddamn, I've literally been throwing this whole time. Literally been throwing. So, my camera was in front of XQC's. I apologize for that. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Sometimes you just forget, man.
Given we have to skip a 2:30 to 2:40. But we still have to watch the beginning so we have a little bit of context.
Okay, hold up. Well, actually, my camera's covering it, so it don't even really matter. So, essentially, let me go back a few.
Given we have to skip.
This guy, right, comes over and just starts talking to this car about something, and then some altercation ensues.
Oh, I can go full cam, right? Yeah, we need context anyway.
They're arguing. And then this is where he comes out. So actually, I'm not going to show this part. Let me just go full screen real quick. I'm not going to show this part. But let me turn my monitor.
He pushed him?
Yeah. He comes up and he shoves him. That guy who walked out of the store comes up and he shoves the guy talking. And then the guy pulls out a gun and shoots him. Yeah.
What?
Following the shooting, Drejka reportedly put the gun in his SUV as he waited for law enforcement to arrive. He cooperated with deputies at the scene as he was placed in handcuffs and then transported to the North District Station for further questioning by detectives.
Bro, no one knows, man.
Guy, he got pushed to the ground. His head didn't bounce off the ground. He didn't get into a fist fight. Nothing really happened. Like, he got pushed to the ground, and everybody stopped moving, and then he just pulled out a gun, right there, and then nobody moved, nobody did anything, and then he just shot, and that was it. That's it.
No, they're Eric's.
He's been cooperative with me now. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's very unjustified, man.
We're gonna take.
Stop saying self-defense, okay? You guys will always parade that term, okay? They even said at the beginning of the video, okay? It's self-defense when somebody is harmed or killed. A lot of specifics comes into play. A lot of things come into play, right?
That's what they're talking about in the beginning of the video, though.
Justify it or whatever. At self-defense, when things are de-escalated and things are stopped, no shot.
Take them off. You're gonna be cool.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Okay. I don't know you. I don't know nothing about what's going on.
I know. You have my absolute word, sir.
You have my absolute word, sir.
My word,
Fucking Ed.
2040, you got it.
Anything else right now? Alright, the same type. We'll do as quick as we can, okay?
Yo, sorry if I'm being quiet right now too. I'm rolling a blunt, man.
Everything's starting to get sore. Where it hit me from behind.
Everything's getting sore.
Is anything broken?
No.
Torn?
Oh, sore.
Scraped up.
Okay.
Captions, hello?
Hey, Michael, how you doing? I'm Detective Upton.
Let's see this.
Left hand. Okay.
Let's see what happens here.
Fuck yeah, Detective Upton, baby.
Stressful circumstances a little bit,
Myself as well.
but yeah.
Let's go, Detective Upton.
This is Detective Shield.
Fucking roll this guy, please.
I'm not the case agent in this. I'm a detective in the same unit. The case agent and the assistant case agent, if that makes any sense to you, are going to come speak to you in just a few moments, okay? Of course, before any of us speak to you and try to go into any kind of details about anything or anything like that, I'd like to read you your rights. Are you familiar with your rights, Miranda rights? Okay. Okay. The reason we wanted to do that first, of course, we don't want to talk to you about anything. And again, the case agents are going to come in here in just a few moments. It's my understanding that your vehicle was.
Chat. I want to make my own read about this before this even starts. Okay.
All right, let's hear it. X.
I just feel like okay, if the guy comes out of the store and this guy's like yelling at his wife or whatever, right? And it's getting heated. Yeah, you're right. He definitely shouldn't push. Okay, definitely shouldn't push, right? But he doesn't even know the extent of the argument yet. And the other guy knows that the other guy doesn't know the basis of the argument because he wasn't there to listen to it, right? So I think it's fair to assume that. What was the question mark? I forget. I'm sure I'll watch the video.
Still,
It's not a problem.
it's at the store.
Just explaining something just stops halfway.
Okay.
Hey,
We
man,
have it
it'd
all
be like
going
that
off
sometimes.
safe and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Sometimes you just can't find the right words to explain shit, man.
I'm there every day.
I feel it. I feel it.
I'm right around the corner.
Okay. Would you be willing to give us consent to go inside your vehicle and just for documentation purposes and that kind of thing? Okay?
Yeah.
We'll be with you momentarily, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
It's gonna be two other guys, not quite as handsome as me, but they'll be in here in just a minute, okay?
Don't let them hear that.
I think the most important part is that after he pushed him, the guy who did push him looked like he was about to walk away or move on. His entire body is turned away from the guy who was pushed, completely away, right? Looked like he was about to dismiss, disengage, or de-escalate. And this guy decides that it's at this time that he pulls out a gun. He even shot him. He shot him in the chest, but it could almost have been in the back because it was dude. Just because of the positioning, so it's like.
Hey, partner. Hey, my name's George Moffett. This is Richie Raymond. You've been sitting here for a while. You mean use
So-
restroom area?
Hold up, let me pause real quick.
Get enough water and everything?
Motherfucker, what? Come on. Hey, pause.
Yeah.
Alright, so, most of this that XQC is not going to show, I'm actually going to watch it on my left monitor so I can kind of get a little bit of, like, background information.
I've seen it already. I didn't see it already. It's just logic.
All right, we're just here at the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office North District Station. Today's date's July 19, 2018. I just want to talk to you reference today's shooting. Just go through your kind of day, like right before you get to the store.
Just coming back.
Play she equals de-escalate. I'm about to ban you. I'm about to ban you. You're so stupid.
What do you live in?
The act of pushing doesn't de-escalate. You shouldn't do it. That doesn't warrant somebody to shoot at you. Okay? I get it. It's bad. When things escalate, things can get heated, whatever. Right? But because you push somebody, it happens in a lot of places. People make mistakes. They shouldn't die for it. Holy shit. Imagine if you were given the same thin line every time you did something or some mistake. Dude, everybody was just dying left and right.
Not wrong though.
Okay.
Well, we all make mistakes, man. We all make mistakes. It happens.
Well, it never lasts.
I wish I was retired.
It never lasts. I got to retire for about 13 years.
You mind if I call you Michael?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, and you can call me George.
George.
So just walk through.
Michael and
You leave
George.
your house and you drive up to the store?
No, I was coming back from the Wawa down on Missouri and Rosary to get some cash and head home, stop by the store. Home.
Okay. So you get to the store, tell me.
He knows he's wrong. He just knows it.
I park my car and that's my store. I'm there every day.
This is
That's
the second
my
time he has said
store.
this. It could be argued that he's already trying to give his version of events some form of reinforced vindication before he even states them. By it being his store and him being there every day, he is designating himself as some form of protector or guardian, thus characterizing his actions as pure and his logic behind them of pure intent.
Plain and simple. And every day there's somebody pulled in the handicap spot there, just waiting on somebody.
Okay.
What?
I have a pet peeve about it.
Sure.
I, said, do you mind, moving? There's a spot next door and there's spots out front. I said, do you mind moving, waiting on somebody? And
So there's plenty more spots and
there's
stuff.
plenty more spots, yes.
Wait, why?
She took that as
Why does he feel like they're waiting in a handicapped spot, so he feels like he has to enforce it because it's his store? Like, what? Come on, man. That's already terrible logic.
Well,
So
I'm
you
confused.
walk up to her.
Because I'm gonna be aware about this shop. I don't know about this shop, but isn't the handicap spot further away from the entrance of the store than the
No.
normal spots?
No.
actually, I was walking.
No, that's literally what the whole point of it is, X. What are you talking about?
No.
Okay.
Oh, it was that left.
That's the whole point.
She inquired about what was going on.
Okay.
And that's when I told her, about the handicap spots. That's
What did you tell
Well,
them?
normally it's closer. That one looked further.
very polite to park here.
Oh, I see what he said
You need to use
in the
this.
video,
Does it affect you?
because it was on the side of the store.
Rolls in, yes, it would. So, there's nothing, there was none of that between us at all.
Okay.
Nothing. It was just heated words, that's all.
Okay.
How I was speaking to her, I guess.
Okay.
She said, what do I have to do to get my man? I said, well, what's gonna happen then?
Went and got some food, show. Hey, that's what's up, man. What'd you get, bro?
I never saw
Hold up, I gotta grab a drink real quick, guys. I just finished rolling this blunt. I gotta grab a Coke real quick. What'd you get, show? What'd you get to you, man?
She was the driver of the car?
She was in the car.
Five Guys. Not bad, man. Not bad at all.
You didn't see anybody else in the car?
Tinted windows, almost dark,
Okay.
couldn't see through.
Tinted windows.
So you guys are talking?
Yeah, exactly. She's out of the car by this time.
Okay.
Standing next to
Yeah,
me.
I'll skip out quickly.
Okay.
And I got hit from the left side and thrown straight backwards in line with her car.
Okay.
So if you saw the two white ladder lines
Mhm.
next to the thing, that's where I was standing. Okay, so I went almost straight back after I got hit.
By hit?
What do you mean hit?
I was standing like this talking to her.
Okay.
I was hit from right here.
I was
The
hit.
shoulder was pulled in front of me, and then I was,
Oh, okay.
then
All
I
right.
hit the ground.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, the mark on his arm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried
I
about
see
that
now.
too much, but I'm pretty sure I landed my wrist
What?
under my gun. Actually, that's how I landed.
Okay, this isn't the hit though. He got in the video that we saw before. He got pushed. Yeah, because I don't want to diminish anything. Okay? I'm trying to be neutral. Okay, but he got pushed and he fell in a certain way that maybe damaged him. But I don't think the push was crazy.
Like a son of a bitch now.
So you landed on the pavement?
Oh yeah.
So the thing that this is the hit is like.
Yeah, no, there's no shot. There's no shot that you go from like verbal arguments and then someone pushes you, so then instantly you pull out a gun. That's just way up here. Like, that's not justified, man. There's no shot, man.
To put hand down to get hand.
He shouldn't have been pushed in the first place. But like X is saying, that doesn't give you the right to fucking shoot somebody.
Start leveling off my weapon. He makes his next step towards me and
No.
21-foot rule.
The so-called 21-foot rule stems from what is known as the Tuller drill, a self-defense training exercise to prepare against a short-range knife or melee attack when armed only with a holstered handgun. The idea is that by the time an individual determines a deadly threat, draws their firearm, and fires, the attacker will have already closed up to 21 feet in distance. This reinforces the idea that one should have their handgun drawn and ready to engage at a target if they're within that distance. Yet what Drejka left out is that this training exercise puts a strong emphasis on the fact that the attacker must have a weapon in their hands. That is the key component if one is to use this rule as a justification to immediately engage.
Okay, well, he didn't have a gun.
Force.
He didn't have anything. He didn't have a knife or anything.
We saw a video about this.
So fast,
The guy had no knife.
Negative. Not a word.
Okay. Did you say anything to him?
No.
Like back up? Or?
No.
It could be assumed that the suspect's frantic response was because he felt threatened by the question. Put yourself in his position, but assume that you knew, without question, that you were in the right, and there was no other option than to fire upon the attacker. When posed a completely logical question such as this, you would take a moment to grasp and incorporate its principle. This is because you would have no need to be in a defensive state of mind. You would feel no threat, and it's human nature to be inquisitive and curious about matters related to our own decision-making. It's how we grow as people. Yet if we are in a defensive state of mind, this natural curiosity would be overlooked, as our focus would be projected outward toward the...
Struggling with acne? Discover La Roche-Posay.
20-second ad? Oh, I was about to say, no way I can't skip.
...of others, rather than inward toward our own. In this instance, it could be argued that Drejka's immediate response, void of any contemplation whatsoever, is him trying to insinuate that he felt so threatened by the attacker that even the thought of giving any sort of a warning is an illogical concept. It's a variant of the emotional response known as appeal to extremes.
Okay. So you draw your weapon. Talk to me about that.
So he's kind of he's trying to make it seem like he had no other choice but to shoot this man, or else he was gonna be hurt or killed, possibly. That's kind of the point that he's making here, and it's clearly wasn't the case. The guy had no weapon. Come on.
Well, the way I was able to draw it,
he literally shoved you with two hands.
That doesn't make sense.
Eventually, try and bring my left around for support.
Okay.
And he made his step towards me, and that was that.
How many steps did he make towards you?
Just one step.
Okay. And then that was that. Talk to me about that. What do you do from there?
I made sure there's no other threat around him because it spun him a little bit, and he ran into the store. Immediate threat gone. I did have her as a potential.
No, I mean beforehand, before you fired the gun.
Ask me the question.
Before you fired the gun.
Yes.
Once you pull the gun out.
Yes.
Okay. You said he stepped towards you.
Yeah.
Because I don't know
one more step. Right. He made one more step towards me.
And then what do you do?
I didn't say a word. Gun was already out.
Okay. What do you do?
What?
Fire my weapon.
How many times do you fire the weapon?
One time, sir.
Okay. So you fire the weapon and then basically just scan.
I ended up standing up.
Just for context, the guy did one step backwards, I think, and turned, and looked like it was like telling him off almost. So this guy is already lying for no reason. I mean, not for no reason, but I mean.
Okay. All right. So
already busted. Already busted.
Not after he left.
Yo, Shaw, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Okay. Did you strike him?
No.
No, I mean with a gun.
No, I don't know.
What do you mean,
so,
obviously?
Yes, there was an ambulance there.
So why'd you say no?
So you don't know if you hit him?
I know nothing, but I would assume so.
Okay. All right. So, what do you do? Talk me from there.
He knows that he struck him. He knows
your weapon.
Nah, he knows 100%. The guy immediately touched his stomach as soon as he fired.
My weapon, everything's clear. Somebody screaming about hurt kids. Somebody screaming about hurt kids. Somebody thought they were in the car. So I said everybody's inside, see if you can get her to unlock the car.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. All I remember is screaming about kids.
Okay.
Screaming about kids.
You hear somebody talking about her kids and stuff.
Everything's on. Well, I asked one person to go, see if she could unlock her car from the inside, and then I decided to extricate myself from the situation completely and just back to my vehicle and wait for you. So I took my firearm out and loaded it, locked it, left it in the car.
What do you mean you locked it back?
Yes.
Okay.
I loaded it, locked it back, waited for you.
Okay.
Loaded it, locked it back.
Oh, God, no. Just the one that was in the pipe.
We're gonna kind of
What?
slow it down a little bit.
He loaded his gun. Wait, what? He's like, oh, there could be another threat. Let me just lock and load and fucking wait. Like,
because I'm gonna be asking specific questions about the incident. And again, just like you were, just be truthful with me. And just because we
ain't no trouble there. Yeah, bullshit, buddy.
Exactly what happened. I know you kind of went through it a little fast or whatever, so we're going to just go back a little bit. Is that okay? All right. Appreciate it. So you exit your vehicle, right? Like you always do, and you're getting ready to walk in the store.
Yeah.
And what do you see from there?
No placard on the front of the car, because I have to walk by the car to...
So you approach the vehicle?
No, front of the vehicle, yeah.
Okay. And your intentions on walking around the cars to look for placards?
Toys, yeah.
Okay.
Toys?
You only take pictures if there's,
Okay. You take pictures if you don't see no placards?
Honestly, you can clean shit up. Yeah, you're creatively. The guy who just turned there for 30 minutes, ban permanently. Don't bother with it. People who downplay, acts like this, and just permit them. There's no point.
Okay. Where do you normally look for placards?
License plate, windshield, and the front.
Okay.
See if there's a front license plate or anything.
Okay. When you approached the vehicle, did you make eye contact with the driver?
I couldn't see the driver. The windows are so dark.
Okay.
I didn't know anybody was in the car.
Right.
From the
So the window wasn't rolled down?
No,
The driver's side?
Didn't he look from the front window? You can see through the front window. No shot.
Okay. So you start walking around the car?
Yeah, I walked from the front to the back and then just back up again. And
Okay.
I took no pictures. I just,
Sure.
assumed would go and keep going, but then the window came down.
He states that the altercation started once the driver rolled down her window, yet the surveillance says otherwise. The prosecution stated that the suspect spotted the driver through the windshield and engaged with her at this moment.
Through the front window. Yeah. See? Yeah, because he's pointing... He said he was talking about, handicap parking or whatever the fuck. I bet, honestly... I bet he probably was talking about handicap parking, but he just took it way too extreme. He just took it way too far.
The window...
Can't even really see. Move my camera and go back a little bit.
Otherwise.
Alright. So this is the vehicle. XQC's got his chat in front of it. It's the vehicle.
The prosecution stated that the suspect spotted the driver through the windshield and engaged with her at this moment.
He definitely is like making visual eye contact or visual signs, talking about probably the parking spots. He probably really is talking about that.
The window then comes down
it's
at
still
this
not
moment.
justified. Even if he is talking about it, it's still not justified.
It's not here, sir.
Was the car running?
I couldn't tell. It's so quiet.
Okay.
These damn cars. It doesn't sound anything like mine. Which is like a
So then when you come back around, is the window rolled down at that point?
No,
or-
only after I get back up in front and she, on my way into the store, and she asked me,
So she rolls her window down?
Yes, sir.
Do you make verbal contact with her first, or did
She made verbal contact with me first, and
Well,
I
sir,
explained what I
refuted
did.
in court,
I was
damn.
doing, of course.
Okay, so she asked you what? What do you do?
What are you
Walking around
doing?
the car?
Yeah, I
And
said
you said-
I'm looking for handicap placards,
Okay.
Why- yeah, why would she?
Well, what's that matter
So-
to you?
okay. So when she rolls her window down, she says, hey, what are you doing? How far are you away from the car?
To the front of the car.
Okay, so you're standing at the front?
Yeah, about the front of the car, which is the
Are
edge
you on
of
the
the
curb?
sidewalk, yeah.
Okay, so you're
I'm
on
at
the
20
sidewalk?
Yeah, I'm not exactly in front of the car, I'm on the sidewalk, at the front of the car.
Okay. So after you start talking to her, do you approach the driver's side of the car?
Yeah, just, of course, I don't wanna yell back and
Right,
forth.
that's understandable. So how far do you approach the vehicle, distance-wise, approximately?
You may be wondering why they are asking such specific questions when the entire incident was captured on surveillance.
Yeah,
They are not
that's
asking
why.
for the purpose of gathering facts. They are asking to see if the suspect will amend the facts to fit with his own narrative. Anything he fabricates can be used against him, especially during cross-examination to
100%.
negate his credibility.
It's gonna be, she's in the
And
car.
why would
Let's say
at this point, why would you even lie about anything? This is like a flat out broad daylight.
Yep.
Witness
Caught
camera
on. Yep.
recorded whole scheme, and he's out here fucking like lying. Like, but why?
Driver?
Because he's an idiot. That's why. It's the only only thing is he's a fucking idiot. That's why.
Oh, yeah, if that's what I'm lying.
So how, can you show me how far, let's say I'm her, how far do you come up to her?
By the window.
Okay, so a couple feet.
Yeah, I'm not gonna encroach into her car.
Alright. So,
I doesn't know. But I mean,
you guys are
that's-
bickering back and forth. Next thing you know, you get pushed.
I'm blind, pushed nothing, tackled, I'm blindsided.
Attacked.
On the ground, hard.
So he shoved you pretty hard.
No, for what it felt like is he come running at me.
Okay, like full
What?
force.
And I haven't been hit like that since I was in my 20s.
Okay, alright. So, he shoves you to the ground. You fall.
He
to
literally
the-
just went.
Slight.
Like he walked up to him and then two hands just
You hit your head.
fucking shoved him.
Don't feel anything.
Guys,
So you
guys,
don't know if
He
he's
did
sideways.
fucking.
this guy's he's
he
just got
threw him.
Wolverine. His arm is all healed now. The pain is gone. It's all
From
now,
earlier.
dude, it's all healed up.
You hit your
One tap.
head.
Don't know.
Only took
Don't feel
fucking
anything.
Okay.
20 minutes
So
to
you
be
don't
Flew
honest.
sideways like this, and literally just landed under my gun. Okay, so I landed on my wrist, on my gun.
Okay,
Had to reach over to extract my hand.
to push yourself back.
To push myself up off of that, and as I'm reaching and pulling around, he's standing in front of me. As I come up, he's taking his step towards me.
Okay, now let's discuss that.
Give me the timer again.
If you don't mind, could you sit on the ground real quick for me?
That's where I was.
I don't want you to hurt it.
No.
Okay,
2040.
so you're on the ground, right?
I'm on the ground like this.
Okay, how far is the guy away?
Front of the car.
He's at the front of the car?
Front of the
So he's on
car.
that sidewalk, kind of curb area?
No,
At
he's in
least
front
6
of the
feet.
car, off the sidewalk.
Okay, right on the edge?
You got it.
So how far do you think he's away from you?
I might have been right at the edge of the back of the front door.
6 feet from his foot
Of the
or
car?
4 foot.
Correct.
Okay,
All right,
So he's up by the front
this.
tire.
He's up by the front tires. Now further than that, man.
further than this.
Yeah.
Further than that, man.
Okay.
I was back further. He had to be further than that.
Okay, so he's about this far,
Yeah.
or maybe even further.
And as I come up this way, because I have to come up off my hand, all right, I bring the gun out with me. And as I'm coming back this way, it won't, I can't support it, so I hit this.
Okay,
And as
what does he do?
as I come out like this, he's taking his step.
Okay.
As I come out like this.
Step?
Taking his
I
steps
can't show
towards
his spot.
me.
Okay,
So let's look at the footage.
Wait. Okay. Wait a minute. Because this is pretty important because this is very like technical stuff. Can we at least show the part where he pushes him? It's not a problem.
Yeah.
And then we can.
He can show the part where. Yeah, he can show the part
Yeah,
where he
we
pushes
always
him.
show this part. I'm not sure the part where he actually does the thing. No show of nothing, just, you know? So he's not running.
Yeah, he's not running. He's walking, and then he shoves him.
Stop.
Add. So he definitely got fucking shoved like a motherfucker. Alright, let's go cam back over here.
Suspect is shoved to the ground as he described. This is the moment he reaches for his gun. Marquise sees this and starts backing up.
4 steps back, and then he has his back foot all the way back out, and he's pointing at his entire body is pointing like if this is the guy, his body's pointing that way.
Hold up, I wanna
like a complete reversal.
I wanna see this real quick. YouTube, JCS, boom, boom, muted. Alright. Yeah, no shot, bro. Literally no shot. Yeah, absolutely no shot. He gets shoved. The guy lands on the ground. And then he's backing up, and the guy just, yeah, no shot. Absolutely no shot.
Marquise takes 3.5 steps back, and 2.5 seconds go by. Drejka then fires his weapon.
All he knows he struck him. Holy
How
fuck.
close does he get to you?
Yeah, 100%. 100% he knows he struck him.
Maybe to the front tire.
So show me where. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay, so right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he charging after you?
2 steps running.
Okay. Well, you're saying he was running?
Well, it would have been running when he got out of behind the car.
Okay. All
I
right.
gotta get both.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want you to hurt yourself.
No.
You
What
need
did you
help?
think then, Mike?
Say again,
What
bud?
did you think when that happened?
I've never been in that situation ever. I thought kicks were coming.
Kicks.
So you thought he was gonna?
I thought kicks were coming, or
No.
he'd be on top.
No, see, alright, so after watching this, I can't show it, but, the guy shoved him, right? He shoved him on the ground, and then he's standing there in front of him, right? And he's kind of like holding up his pants, like he's about to fight him, essentially. Like he's about to use both fists. And then the literal second that, this guy starts to pull out a weapon or reach for it, this motherfucker is backing up. He's backing up, leaving. Right when he sees that there's a weapon.
Okay.
There's no shot. Yeah, no shot, buddy. No shot. You're going to jail. 100%.
So, you're thinking he's gonna come kick you?
I'm thinking he's coming to do the rest of it.
Did you see him with
The
a firearm?
rest of
No,
what?
sir, I didn't see him with anything.
Okay. What do you mean the rest of it?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Whatever beating was coming after that.
Beating.
He just asserted that he thought kicks or a beating was coming. If he had spoken with a lawyer, he would have been advised to not only state, but put considerable emphasis on the fact that he believed that his life was in danger. He would have essentially been told to say that it was either his life or the attacker's, and that there wasn't a shred of doubt in his mind that he would have been killed had he not fired his weapon in self-defense. Even without the surveillance footage to refute his version of the altercation, these statements alone would be extremely damning in a court of law.
So you thought he was gonna beat you and stuff?
You're not kidding.
Okay. All right. So
If he gonna hit me that hard to begin with from blindside from the get-go, what else should I expect?
okay. All right. So you're on the ground. You said he was running at you.
No, he
but
was
only
not.
took like a step.
He was not running. He was literally standing right in front of him.
That and come around towards me again with
Right.
that second foot.
Okay. So he only made one step.
He barely made the second step before I pulled the trigger.
Okay. What kind of gun do you have?
Sure did.
Okay.
Why did you think the guy was gonna beat you?
Because I just got blindsided out of nowhere. Why? What else would I think?
Oh, I'm just asking. Just
Now, I've never been in that situation before. First thing I think, if I'm getting hit like that, somebody's coming at me for more.
Okay.
What did
more.
the female do at that point?
The female just started screaming
Was she in the car or out of the car?
out of the car.
Okay. She's screaming that you just shot him, or?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay,
Goddamn.
You just hear her screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But he didn't he say that he didn't know if the guy was shot? He already stated that.
All right. Let me ask you a question. You mentioned early that you asked Mustafa about video and stuff like that.
Correct.
Wait, he says she's not a threat to me anymore. What? Well, first she was never a threat. and if she treated him like he treats others, then she could have pulled out a gun and, I mean, shot him.
You think the video
according to his flawless logic.
show him charging it or running
It
at you?
should.
Okay.
There should be an angle right on that parking spot.
Okay. What happens if I told you that I looked at the video and in no time and point does he come running up towards you?
Yeah.
He actually takes a step back.
I would disagree.
Okay. I'm just
Disagree
asking.
with video evidence. Okay, man.
Okay. All right.
Okay, man.
So.
Yeah, disagree
so
with
after
video
he
evidence.
runs
Come
to
on,
the
bro.
store and stuff like that.
Did you see
I
the
saw the video. What was
Oh
that?
yeah.
What happened?
Yeah,
Where
absolutely.
did it come from? If you don't mind me asking, where do you
We'll
come
get it
from?
all.
Yeah, we'll get
We'll
into
work on
that.
for you.
He saw
But
it.
did she walks around the vehicle. Does she go anywhere? Do you see her?
Let me put
go
some heat
anywhere?
on it. It's really,
She
really
went
cool.
to the front of the store, she was inside for a while, then she got in and moved her car.
Okay, so she came back outside the store.
She did.
Did you guys have any discussion?
The only thing I said to her was somebody's trying to see if you've got keys for your children.
Okay. Did, when the gentleman, before you fired the gun, did he make any threats towards you?
I
After
never
he
heard a
pushed you?
word.
Okay, so he didn't say,
No.
"I'm gonna kick your ass."
Wow.
I never heard a word of anything.
Let's kind of back up, because I'm just trying to understand. Excuse me, before, you shoot him, okay? And he had already shoved you, right? You said you thought he was going to come kick you and basically finish the job,
Yeah,
okay? Did you hear him make any statements?
negative. He never made a word.
Okay,
Until
like,
Damn.
I'm
Never
coming to
said
finish.
a word until I fired, but then he never said a word when he dumped me either.
Right, so you never said, what the
No,
hell,
sir.
dude? Okay, so you guys don't have any type of,
I barely even saw the man.
no, I mean, after he
Oh,
pushed
no.
you were on the ground,
There's
you're trying to get to your
Why,
sidearm.
this is a big
no
throw.
talks between us
Okay,
at all.
you don't ask
Didn't
him what
say
the hell,
anything,
dude?
man.
Why'd you push me?
No,
He doesn't make any statements, I'm gonna come kick your ass?
Guys,
negative.
the cop isn't trying to help him. Dude, nothing that this guy can say will get him off the hook.
Yeah.
They don't understand how this works. They don't understand how any of these cases work. Nothing this guy will say, okay, you're free to go.
It's
go
pretty
home.
much already a close
Literally
case. It is.
nothing.
Literally
He's
is a
trying to
close
be on his
case.
side and downplay the stuff. So this guy's like, yeah, man. If anything, he just should say, you know, dude, this is a classic case of self-defense. It's a landslide. Don't even worry about it. For this guy to unleash all of his truth or whatever, which is complete dog shit, and roll him over with it. He's not sympathizing or helping him. He's rolling him.
Negative.
Okay.
Didn't say a word to me.
So he made no threats that he was gonna come finish his job?
It was an assumption, definitely.
Okay, so you just assumed he was gonna come do that?
Any smart person would.
Yeah. that's fine.
Smart
Okay,
person.
I get it, I understand that. So, and then you shoot him, just one time,
We'll see.
correct?
One time, sir.
Okay.
Neutralize.
And then
That's
he
it.
just
Neutralize.
Neutralize, and then that's it. There's no reason to
What do you mean, can you elaborate, what do you mean neutralize?
neutralize the immediate threat.
Okay,
And then that's it.
The
I don't-
immediate
no
threat.
reason to go overboard anyway.
sure, okay, I get it. And then he runs in,
I shoot to save my own ass, and that's that.
okay.
And that's that.
Do you understand that? I mean, does it ever go
This
through your mind that
motherfucker.
you're going up and talking to these people and informing them of them being parked in a handicapped spot, that they might not take that right? That this might go sideways a little bit?
Well, sure, but that's why I take precautions as well.
Like what kind of precautions?
I'm a very careful person, and I have a permit.
He has just stated that he was fully
What?
aware beforehand that a serious altercation could have arisen from his actions, and then justified these actions on the grounds that he was carrying a weapon. He has
Yeah.
essentially just tried to condone the provocation of a potential violent encounter.
motherfucker's
because
trying to
he
play
was
cop,
protected,
bruh.
showing no consideration for the safety and well-being of others. It could be argued that he gave no thought to the potential harm said provocation could cause anyone apart
No,
from
if anything, he like
Okay. Do you think you can go knock on these
was
people's- or
almost
actually not-
looking
Yeah, I
for
don't
it
think
in
you
a
go
sick way.
confront
Like,
anyone
I
right
mean,
to their face.
it's approaching, so we use the term approach instead of confront.
Okay, but it is
Uh,
up to the person who's in the car to actually confront.
If you go up to somebody and approach them, they could take that as being confrontational. You can't really interpret how
That
people are
would
going to
make
take it.
them confrontational.
But if you go up to somebody and you approach them about being
Yeah,
parked in a handicapped
you see this guy. The main problem is that this guy has so many pre-structures that are already in place in his head, and all he needed was one small thing to just fit in the puzzle for him to unleash and finish is already preconceived plans. That's the main problem, is that he has pre-constructed stuff that's already in place, whatever, and he's one small little thing, and boom, he just finishes his whole thing. That's the problem.
Handicap spot. Do you think you'd be willing to do that?
I'm way too high to understand a word that X just said.
Because you don't know how people are going to react.
I've been carrying a gun most of my adult life, so I can't really answer that in a way that would satisfy you.
Okay.
You know
Well,
what
I mean, would you approach these people if you didn't?
Once again, I don't know. I would have to say yeah,
Okay.
but I wouldn't know because, like I said,
You always carry.
I've always carried a firearm.
Okay. Since how long? How long have you carried it?
I was 22,
How old are you now?
48.
If, let's say
48.
watch a video or whatever, and he doesn't approach you or make any steps towards you like you indicated.
Exactly what I saw though.
Okay, so you saw him come towards you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what happens if he didn't come towards you? Would you still
Hell
fire
no,
around?
there's no reason to. If he's retreating, then I don't need to use my firearm.
What if he's just standing still?
Oh my God, you're an idiot. I hate you. I hate
He's just
you.
removed a potentially strong argument from a defense team. Upon reviewing the surveillance footage, the defense
guy
could have asserted that
was-
the defendant was still in considerable fear of his life, even though the suspect was retreating. This could have
Yep.
further asserted the argument that his actions were not the
That
result
makes
of malignant
sense.
anger,
That
but
actually
rather the
makes
result
sense.
of irrational fear.
Did you see, when you saw this guy after he pushed you, did you see anything?
Because
on
the
his
guy
face that changed?
100% was
Negative.
retreating.
All I saw was a man
was walking away.
trying to do me.
And
What were
right,
his hands doing?
and
You
the
saw
guy
him?
started walking away right when he saw the gun on this
Why?
guy's
Were you able to
side.
see him? Were you able to see the guy's hands?
I didn't see his hands per se, and I didn't see his face at all. I don't know what he looks like.
Could you see his legs, his feet, anything like that?
I might have seen his legs. I know he was a black guy. That's it. Or
Okay.
maybe his arms. I'm not sure.
Could you see anything that he was doing other than?
Do you want better? It can start with a better education. UMass Global is a better university. Accredited
Watching his feet, watching his hips.
All right. So if he was standing still, you would have seen no reason to
No,
pull
sir.
that trigger. Okay.
If he hadn't
Bro.
twitched, I never would have pulled that
When
trigger.
when that
Twitch?
gun was out, did you make the decision to shoot when you pulled the gun out, or was that
Negative.
decision made afterwards?
Negative decision I made as soon as he moved.
Okay. Did you remember having time to think and process
No
things?
time to think.
But you
As
had
soon as
made.
that gun was out, the twitch goes.
Twitch.
Okay. But you said
The
you actually
twitch
pulled the gun out
goes.
before you made the decision to shoot, right?
There's about, well, I'm not pulling it out with the intention of pulling the trigger.
Okay.
Okay,
No,
if
I-
I come up on target and it's,
So
Why
why
didn't you
would he
shoot
pull
him?
it out then?
If you would have pulled that gun, between the time you pulled that gun, if you would have been on your back and you pulled that gun and you had it on him, if he would have been standing still, do you think that trigger would have gotten pulled?
no.
Did you have time to really look at him and tell that he was coming towards you?
The feet said he was coming towards me, and
Okay.
so did the hips.
Yeah, I know. This chat is it's really disappointing these days. I'm gonna keep it aside. People downplay a lot of racism and they like to act like it doesn't exist. People like to do a lot of shit. Even sometimes not much even happened, and everybody always start throwing shit at. Oh yeah, people think it's racist. It's not. It's like, dude, I don't even know, dude. Even in the other case where the guy said, "Yo, these guys
Yeah.
are listening to some fucking thug music, thugs," like, and it's like, dude, like, he's like, no, that's reasonable. No, it's not.
Which was it?
The hip twitch. Right foot comes around this way, like he's going to come right past that car thing, and that was that.
How much time do you think it was between when you pulled that gun out and when you
I don't
actually
know.
pulled the trigger?
I don't know.
How much time did it seem like to you?
It seemed like a split second.
Okay.
All right, Michael. We'll be right back. So,
Guys, because we don't have, let's say, two scenarios where one is white and one is black, and how much tolerance he has from one to another, we can't make an assertion 100% that, oh, racism. It's over the span of the entire conversation that the guy will drop in one drop here, into the bucket, and you can make an easier profile on what triggered him and what escalated that. And a lot of times in these videos and with these people, it seems like the amount that it takes for them to blow up when they are racist or whatever is much smaller. It takes much smaller when somebody is black for them to blow up and start fighting or whatever just on that basis. And just the fact that him brought up race when nobody asked about it, it's not incredibly telling. But just the fact that this guy said, "What did you see?" "I saw a black guy." Dude, but why? But it's these small things that hint at it that will end up making the case what it is or whatever. And it's these small. Of course, we don't have a copy of the exact same scenario, right? Where one is black, one is white, and we're able to compare the length at which he went, or how much tolerance he had, or whatever. But it's these small things that matter. And the fact that you guys downplay that and say, "Oh, that small thing, that can't be racism. That one can't be It's like, it's not one or two. It's the whole picture that matters that these people did. And it's
fucking Twitch chat, bro.
Shields in the sheriff's office. We're here to do a buckle swab, which is a swab.
Honestly, personally, I think you just fucking time them out for like fucking 5,000 fucking seconds, or just ban them personally. I don't give a fuck.
We're gonna go over a consent form.
And you just don't even talk about it.
These are our
You just don't even give them any sort of acknowledgement.
Specialists that work here at the sheriff's office, and they're gonna get some overall stuff.
I can't.
He's gonna talk about it again. He's gonna talk about it again.
Who knows if it would, even it's just.
So
Okay.
as far as the only big
You know.
If you just stand up right here, I'll just take some overall photographs of you. I'm just gonna see where were your injuries. You
can take the shirt.
You can take the
this
shirt.
is basically it as far as noticeable injuries. Everything else is just muscular and on the inside.
Okay.
So as far as the only visible one, that's it.
What does that say in your tattoo?
Madness is sadness. Her initials were SAD and mine are MADs.
That's cool.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Sorry, man. You good on water and stuff like that?
Okay. People were just here, so I've been.
Like, we just want to talk to you, kind of seal up a few things and go over a few more things. Is that all right?
I can hear a baby chicken outside.
Just kind of clarify things.
That's cute.
So, in regards to the incident at the store, you had mentioned early on when I was talking to you about after he shoved you, okay, and you fell to the ground.
Me, nothing.
Well, I mean,
A shove is somebody standing in front of somebody pushing their arms out straight. This felt like I was run at and tackled.
okay.
What?
So after he tackles you,
Run at and tackle.
Mods are cleaning the fuck out of these cockles in the
in
chat.
your words, you fall to the
It'll
ground.
take a couple minutes.
Correct?
Very
Okay, because I don't want to put words in your mouth. And then, you know, you're working on getting your firearm out because of what reason?
I laid on it when I fell.
Okay, but you're working on trying to get your firearm out.
I had to drag it out from under me.
For what reason though?
If you had just been blindsided with no idea who was attacking you, would your firearm be out next move you made?
Probably so. I mean, I don't know.
That's
It's hard for me
exactly
to make that.
That's exactly.
It's an
why.
opinion. Okay. So,
No, I don't think
you
so.
thought-
It's a training.
okay. When you looked up
Training.
and you see him, what's going through your mind?
What's going through my mind is he coming back at me again?
Okay. To do what? What did you think he was going to do?
Thinking he's gonna finish what the hell he just started.
Okay.
What do you...
And to you, like, what do you mean? Kind of elaborate a little bit on the finishing.
I have no clue because he didn't do anything.
Right.
I can't elaborate on something I don't know about.
Chat,
What did you think he was
chat, what's really good about this chat is that they have a lot of stuff on him. The fact that he says that he was going to tell them off about the parking.
They have the video.
and
That's
he was
all
doing
they
it at
need is the
comfort of
video.
him having a gun, having a
Video.
permit. That
Video, it's a wrap. If something's recorded, then it's a wrap. You see everything that happens.
that's retelling it.
I'm not gonna say it's a wrap, like, because 95% of the time it's a wrap. 95% of the
The
time.
fact that the girl said, "Oh,
That'd be my
I have
guess.
to get my man or whatever," right? And he kept arguing, and the fact that it's almost like like he was glad to be pushed because he had already structured the interaction in his head that if something happened, he had the gun and he was gonna use it. That's the whole. These things they frame the whole picture though.
What he would have done is just pure conjecture.
Did you think he was maybe going to get physical with you?
Sure.
Okay.
In a fair fight, you think you can take him?
Negative. I do not fight, never have been a fighter.
Never?
Never.
Ever?
Ever.
Ever.
I didn't even fight in school.
These statements were used by the prosecution to further assert his lack of consideration for the safety and well-being of others. As he stated earlier, he was aware that his decision to approach the vehicle could have resulted in an altercation, potentially a violent one. Yet he has just confirmed that he has no hand-to-hand fighting experience or training whatsoever, meaning that his boldness in the situation solely came from the fact that he was armed with a deadly weapon, thus making him highly inclined to using it when far less force would have sufficed. The prosecution essentially stated that he was willing to kill in order to prevent himself from getting moderately hurt in the situation that he initiated.
I mean, what do you, finish the job, what do you mean?
Finish whatever he started. I have no clue what he started and what his end game was.
What he started?
About that. So that makes me believe to myself I need a force multiplier because I don't know what's going on.
A force multiplier?
Exactly what you know what force multiplier is.
No, sir, I don't. If I did, I don't. I really don't.
A force
multiplier is a sidearm. Anything
Okay.
other than your hand.
Okay. All right, I got you.
A stick.
Some type of weapon.
Force multiplier.
What?
Okay.
You know terminology that we
A
know.
force multiplier.
I
learned it from.
You do a lot of
I
reading
learned it
or-
from. Yeah,
I seriously didn't know what that meant. And I just want to tell you this, you know, just to let you know, the gentleman you shot is deceased.
Thank you for telling me. Nobody else would be able to.
So,
Oh wow, because yeah, so many times.
okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
You got any questions?
First
for
time
me?
it's been fucking brought up. First time this motherfucker even considered it.
I did exactly what I thought I was supposed to be doing at that time, considering what was happening to myself. No, sir, I don't think I have anything else to say.
He doesn't give a shit.
All right, approximate time is about 22
And he knows he has
hours.
children too. Or had.
Interview will be concluded.
Drejka was released without charge as the investigation was ongoing, but was arrested 25 days later on August 13th and charged with a single count of manslaughter. During those
Why would they
25
release
days,
him for
Drejka
24
was named
hours?
as the accused aggressor in 4 prior road incidents ranging from 2012 to 2018, where he threatened drivers with a gun. 2 were male, 2 were female, including a young mother with 2 children in the car. He was interviewed by
what?
WTSP 18 days after his arrest.
I just want you to tell me about yourself.
Okay. I'm pretty much your normal, average, everyday person with average problems, I would suppose.
Right.
I don't know what everybody else's problems are, but you know, I've got money troubles. You know, we've got moving troubles.
Right.
But other than that, everything.
I'm trying to get sympathy.
Take me back to, I'm going to call it that day. What kind of morning did you have July 19th? What,
Oh,
were you
shit.
working? Were you walking the
Okay,
dogs?
I'm gonna give it a stack, dude. Dude, dude, out of all the general things, dude, pulling out a gun inside of in a vehicle and throwing people in a gun as you're driving is like the most degenerate thing out there.
That's insane road
Shit,
rage.
dude.
Yeah.
Specifics about that day.
Well, I wasn't talking about
fucking
the actual
GTA
incident of
Andy,
the shooting.
dude.
I was just saying what your day was like. Cup of coffee, like
Normal, everyday day, really nothing that.
saw the wife off to work.
Yeah, nothing too surprising out of any of it.
Everybody involved with this case, a lot of people involved with this case have spoken up. The sheriff has spoken out, the prosecution.
From the director of The Conjuring.
Something happened to me.
I don't care. 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 Skip. Oh my god, The Conjuring is monkey ass.
McRochtons have spoken out. Al Sharpton has spoken out. And we felt that it was necessary to hear from the person at the center of this case. The McRochtons have been very, very hard and descriptive about you as a person. Is there something that you could say to them?
Oh, you want
that might give some clarity about who you are, or
oh, you
how
want
feel?
sympathy.
I
Oh,
really don't think this is the right place to talk to the family directly.
Right. How many dogs do you have?
uh,
And what kind are they?
German Shepherd.
All right.
Oh, you're gonna cry.
It seems like this is striking a chord with you.
Right. This is interesting. Defense would argue display of humanity and compassion, persecution would argue self-pity and appeal of sympathy. Yeah. I mean.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't miss my girls. Miss my girls.
You shouldn't have done what you fucking did then, you dumbass. Crazy, almost like your actions have a fucking reaction.
Change.
It's so irritating, bro.
To look back. Is there anything you would change?
Crying. He's like crying.
Wait,
like it's gonna get fucking sympathy.
Are those
is there
dogs?
anything that you would change, or I'm sure you had time to think about this.
Sure. I've had plenty of time to think about it, but as far as changing anything as events, is what you're.
Right.
I don't see.
Wait, he kills a dude that's not gonna see his children, 3 of them, ever, and he sits there in the police thing, he doesn't feel anything, and then he thinks about missing his 2 dogs, and he breaks down.
I really did. No, not off the top of my head.
Okay. People that have come down to speak about the event.
I miss my dogs.
And they get the feeling that there might be a racial overtone to this incident.
No, there's almost no way of that. Number one, my upbringing really prevents that from coming out of me ever.
Prevents?
My parents weren't that way.
Right.
You know, it was always try and get along with everybody. Green eggs and ham, you know, everybody's different. And I grew up during desegregation, not segregation. Okay, so it's not like you know, was sheltered from other cultures or races, you know, from a very young age. And my professionalism beyond that prevents me from saying stuff like that anyway.
So I can look you in the eye right now and ask you,
yes,
if you are racist, what would be your answer?
No,
You do not hate black people.
I do not hate anybody.
He was released from jail 1 month after this interview on
No
$100,000
shot.
bond. His trial began on August 19th of 2019.
One of the most high-profile trials in the Bay
Released?
Area will officially get underway.
Michael Drejka's attorney will argue that Drejka fatally shot Marquise McLaughlin in self-defense.
ABC Action News reporter Jasmine Stiles
That's
joins
a
us live
dangerous
now
place to
from
be out
Clearwater
there,
with a
dude.
breakdown of
No
the
shot. They have
this morning.
video evidence.
Prosecutors
How does
and
that
the
even
defense
make
will give
sense?
Their opening statements to 6 jurors. We know that they are mostly white and none of those jurors are black. It took about 2 days to whittle down the large pool of potential.
Why does that matter? Now they're talking about race. Why does that matter? That's fucking irrelevant. Like, why?
Jurors.
And watch his reaction when he finds out in the interview that Mr. McLaughlin had expired. He's not celebrating. He's not proud. He's not happy. That shows you that it wasn't his intention or his desire to take a human life. He did what he thought he had to do in the moment, in split-second timing, given that he was attacked. It's not a high-definition video. You heard their own experts say it was standard definition. We don't even know the age of the cameras that captured the images.
Wait a minute. Is this actually a good defense? Dude,
no.
Is this guy arguing the resolution of the camera? This potato, this bird. What the fuck is happening?
We don't even know the age of the cameras that captured the images.
Who
Clearly, it's not
cares?
the best images, and
You can see perfectly fine though. You can literally see perfectly fine.
Wavy lines when you watch the video in the deliberation room.
What?
You're going to see this little jumping, little wavy lines over the shoulder of Mr. McLaughlin at one point, on the grill of one of the cars at one point. So it's not completely representative of what occurred, and it's certainly not.
Okay, but when, like, say everything else, like, say certain parts of the video is fucked up, right? If those parts aren't, like, the actual altercation, then why does it matter? If the actual altercation, right, is completely clear, and you can watch all the way through what happened, which I did, XQC did, motherfucker, you just can't show it, then why would you even bring up the... I just don't understand. This is a dumb take. This motherfucker. Come on, man. You're really, like...
high definition. Color seems to be
Okay,
all.
any basic forensic analyst or any low-tier engineer amateur could even disprove that these lines do anything compared to the grand scheme of what the pictures are showing. What the fuck is this guy even talking about?
Very low color. You heard the store owner say that Mr. Drejka came in every day. He didn't know he carried a weapon. Mr. Drejka never said, "Hey, I got a gun. I carry a firearm."
Why would you say that?
Had no idea.
Well,
and
why?
How do you describe Mr. Drejka?
Well, why would you say that?
He said he was always calm. And in this video interview, he's calm.
So what?
Seems a little depressed, calm. He doesn't seem proud or excited or anything like that.
This lawyer did.
Very calm. Everyone that described him said he was calm, cooperative, nice guy. He had no time to think. He had no time to analyze the situation. He was attacked, he was blindsided. He says that, listen to him in his interview. Those clips the state didn't play to you. So I just hope that as you go back and deliberate on this extremely, fundamentally important constitutional issues, remember we live in America. Mr. Drejka is presumed not guilty unless the state is able to overcome that presumption by evidence and testimony. We respectfully submit to you that
Which evidence isn't video? Video is literally the best evidence, and the entire altercation was caught on video.
That has not occurred in this case. That there is reasonable doubt. Common sense tells you that. We know how divisive this case is. Mr. Drejka did what he thought was necessary to terminate a threat, a clear threat against his life. And as I said, when you go back and talk about it, ask yourself, if Mr. Drejka hadn't pulled the gun and fired, what would have happened to Mr.
I know. I'm just gonna say, what would have happened was if he would have tried to stand up, that guy was standing over him, right? After he shoved him, he was standing over him, like holding his, like kind of holding his pants, getting his pants up, and he's ready to fucking hit. If Drejka would have just tried to stand up, that guy probably would have fucking just hit him one time, and Drejka would have been sleeping. He probably would have been sleeping, and then the guys would have left, and then Drejka would have woken up, and nobody would have been there. That's probably what happened. I'm just like,
Mr. Drejka.
Nobody dies in that situation either. That situation is 100 times better than someone dying.
And finish buying.
I think everyone can agree on that.
And raise his children like a normal dad, dumbass. What even is happening here?
Drejka was the victim here. That's the sad part. The victim, the true victim, has become the defendant in a very serious criminal case.
The true
His life
victim.
and liberty are at stake here on your decision. Think it through. One man is already gone.
What?
Here. That's the sad part. Yeah. Mr. Drejka was the victim here. That's the sad part. The victim, the true victim, has become the defendant in a very serious criminal case. His life and liberty are at stake here on your decision. Think it through.
Yeah, I don't like this motherfucker at all.
Do we want to take another man's life away from him?
What?
On this kind of evidence?
Bro.
Or is this kind of doubt in the case?
There's no doubt.
Thank you for your time.
I hate this.
What we have to do as the state of Florida is prove beyond a reasonable doubt that that defendant committed the crime of manslaughter. Now, what is a reasonable doubt? Here is a story that I tell in closing arguments. Admittedly, it might sound silly, but it's to demonstrate what is and what is not a reasonable doubt.
Okay.
So let's say that you're walking your dog at night, and it's Florida, of course, and you hear some thunder, you see some lightning, you smell the rain, you go to bed. You wake up, water everywhere. Okay? Beyond a reasonable doubt, it's been proven that it rained. Now, is it possible that a helicopter went over the neighborhood, go into some forest fire, dump the bucket of water over the neighborhood? Is it possible the sun's not going to rise? Okay? But that's not reasonable.
Guys, he's explaining a reasonable doubt because it's super, extremely important in cases like this. Because it's something that he has to prove, right? But since this is a trial,
he has to set a basis too. He has to set like a basis and then build upon that.
To understand it and process it, for them to make a decision based on it.
Yep. He has to set like a clear basis and then build upon it, like a pyramid kind of.
It's not an easy thing to understand.
The smell of rain. When you look at all that, it's been proven beyond a reasonable doubt that it rained. And one of the most important things that you do not leave when you come into a courtroom is your common sense. So common sense tells you that it rained. Now, can you speculate this? So let's say that you have some kids in the neighborhood. Let's say there's 3 kids. You got Allison, you got Alyssa, and you got Timmy. Okay? And Timmy's the terrible one in the neighborhood, and he has the super soaker gun, and he likes to spray that super soaker gun everywhere. Now, can you speculate that he took that super soaker gun, went all around the neighborhood when you were sleeping, and sprayed water everywhere? Well, sure, because you can speculate about anything. But is that reasonable based on the evidence? Thunder, lightning, smell of rain. Absolutely not. That's not reasonable. So when you look at the evidence, now the evidence in this case came from that witness stand, and it's from all the exhibits up there. When you look at all of that, we've proven beyond a reasonable doubt that that defendant is guilty of manslaughter. To prove the crime of manslaughter, the state must prove the following 2 elements beyond a reasonable doubt. Number 1, Marquise McLaughlin is dead. No issue with that. Unfortunately, number 2, Michael Drejka intentionally committed an act that caused the death of Marquise McLaughlin. Okay? So, did he intentionally shoot him?
I don't want to watch this guy.
The way this case has been framed for you is
yeah, so based on these metrics, or not metrics, but based on these descriptives, they got him. Except that now the jury has to understand what makes the case and what makes that, and have to send both parts for them to make the right decision.
This defendant was justified.
That's not easy to do.
In shooting.
To survive hardship, you must prepare for hardship.
I don't care. I don't care. I actually don't care. What is this? This is, fuck, I can't remember the name again. It's a game with magic. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Genshin Impact.
Marquise McLaughlin. But I'm going to frame it a little differently because based on the evidence, and really here's the million-dollar question. We've heard so much evidence, okay? But here's the million-dollar question you need to ask.
My mind was made up right when I saw the video. Literally an hour ago.
And shooting a man that came out to protect his family while he's retreating, while he was unarmed. That's the million-dollar question. It was the most perfect shot he could take. Hit him right here, traveled through.
Yeah, TOS is at 49, I believe.
Through his lung, through his heart, rested on the other side. The most perfect shot he could take. Didn't hit him in the toe, foot, knee, calf, thigh, stomach. The most perfect shot. Did he reasonably believe, as Marquise McLaughlin was backing up and turning to go into the store, that he was about to die? Because that's what that instruction says.
I don't think that he was turning in the store. I think he was turning probably to get everyone in the car and leave. Oh, his son was in the store too.
Backs away when that firearm comes out. Did the defendant reasonably believe he was about to suffer great bodily harm? Was he about to be beaten to a pulp as Michael McLaughlin went backwards? Was he about to die? Was this defendant about to die or be beaten to a pulp when he took the first step back? Absolutely not. What about the second?
This guy back though, the guy here, dude. This guy is bussing.
Step back? Absolutely not. He's getting farther back. What about the third step back? Absolutely not.
Okay, TS is coming up. Give me timings.
What about when he turns to go?
Oh, there's more. Okay, hold on.
The store, absolutely not.
49 watts.
And when you look at those still photographs, you'll see
20.
that Michael McLaughlin's foot is facing where he wants to go. And the only reason his eyes are on that defendant is because he's looking at the firearm that's about to kill him. His entire body is saying, I give up, I'm leaving. And pay attention to this, which I'm sure you already have. When the defendant's on the ground,
right when he saw that gun.
You can see both Robert Castelli
and there's nothing in there yet.
And Michael McLaughlin start to move before the gun comes out.
Yeah.
They both simultaneously recognize that he's pulling a firearm. And before that gun is even out, Michael McLaughlin is retreating. Watch the video, you'll see it. And when the gun's out, he's in full retreat, and he can't go back any farther because that car's there, and that's when he takes his turn to go to the store. That's exactly what you see on the video. Michael
Wow.
McLaughlin is reacting.
We good now?
Holy shit. There was another, yeah, there was another
perfectly
guy.
To what happened. Now, can you argue that the
That was insane. There was another person in frame who was kind of behind them, and him and McLaughlin, the guy who got shot, unfortunately, both stepped back at the exact same time when, like, that motherfucker, when, like, the gun was, like, starting to show. That is insane.
that firearm?
That
Absolutely.
is.
We could even say that
Holy
he was justified
fuck.
in pulling the gun.
Yeah, but he's not justified in shooting, obviously.
There was no reason for him to shoot and kill Michael McLaughlin. It was over when that gun came out. So arguably, was he right in pulling the gun out? Sure, but could he have killed him? No, because he wasn't about to die. He's holding a firearm. He's holding the weapon that ends the whole thing. How could he reasonably believe he was about to die? He didn't. That's why it's not justifiable use of deadly force. You know what Marquise McLaughlin's guilty of? He's guilty of loving and trying to protect his family. And he died because of it. The defendant is guilty of manslaughter. Thank you.
State of Florida versus Michael Drejka, case number
Guilty.
1809851
Come on, Florida.
as to the charge of manslaughter. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is guilty of manslaughter as charged.
Thank fucking God. Thank God.
Michael Drejka's sentencing date is set for October 10th, 2019. The prosecution have asked for the maximum sentence of 30 years in prison.
That's it? 30 years? That's it? 30 years. That's it.
You guys.
No shot. That's it. 30 years for manslaughter? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, that is... Holy fuck, man. God damn, that is just insane. Yo, make sure to go subscribe to XQC and JCS. Some motherfucker that makes all... This guy. This guy right here. He makes all of the content. He's a fucking genius and provides content for everybody. Alright. Holy shit. That was monk ass, man.